1 week ago, I talked about the backlash that the new VA Lily Gao for Ada Wong in the Resident Evil 4 remake received for her delivery in that game, as well as her apparent response to such backlash by deleting all of her Instagram posts except for one, which was some post about white privilege. Many people thought it was an extremely bizarre thing for her to do. It's a bit unclear what exactly she meant by leaving that post up and that post alone. Some people took it as a jab at white gamers that she's upset about for some reason. Again, it's rather weird. Other people also took it as her being disrespectful to the prior Ada Wong VAs because a number of them were white, and they did not get backlash for their work because people just simply like the VA work. That's really it. But the implication of the white privilege post that Lily Gao left up sort of implies that those VAs didn't get backlash because they're white, not because they're talented. Either way, it seems like a bad way for her to handle the backlash that she has received. Things got even more weird when corpos began running defense for her as well. For example, Paul Tassi over at Forbes, where instead of acknowledging the very fair and reasonable criticism that she received, which was by far the majority, he instead decided to try and frame it as a bunch of toxic gamers hating her because she's a woman. Now, unfortunately, I don't doubt that she probably received some harassment and some bigoted comments. However, I also don't support corpos manipulating the public. And just to be clear and to be fair to Paul Tassi, he is not the only journalist who is doing this sort of thing. But here's the point. We have a situation where like 99.9% of the negative comments she received were quite reasonable criticism. Maybe at worst, some of them were a bit edgy in their humor, saying things like she sounds like she's just gotten off a red-eye plane and she's drunk or something like that. So clearly not a jab at her, her for being a woman or anything like that. And so as mentioned, the issue then is that these corpos sent a lot of hate towards gamers who, like, by far and large did nothing bad in the situation at all. And instead of just like accurately representing the situation, they decided to like rage bait their audience into thinking that like the majority of gamers were on some like bigoted harassment campaign against this VA, which was a complete, as mentioned, misrepresentation. But a lot of these corpos, they know that their audience just hates gamers already for some reason, probably in large part because for years they've been gaslighting their audience into thinking that gamers are some of the worst people on the planet. When in reality, most gamers are like, yo, I just got off work, I had a long shift, and I want to chill for a few hours playing some games, which is totally fine. Now, before we move on to Lily Gao's new response, which I haven't even taken a look at yet, we're going to do that together in a moment, I'd like to point out one more thing, some advice I have on how she potentially could have handled the situation a lot better. And by a lot better, I mean like infinitely better. Because as I sort of alluded to in my first segment on this topic, and as many people also accurately pointed out, this whole thing could have actually been mostly due to Capcom's direction and how how they wanted Lily Gao to deliver the lines. So it's a bit odd that she hasn't actually cleared this up yet, but literally all she had to do was say something like this, in her own words. Hey guys, I see a lot of people are not happy with my VA work as Ada Wong. I just want to let you know I delivered the lines exactly as I was told. Wasn't my choice, I was just following orders. I've seen that situation play out before in the Genshin Impact community, where people were upset at certain pronunciation for Sumeru characters, and the English VAs came out and said a statement just like that. They're like, yo, we're just following MiHoYo's orders. Like, this is how they want us to say the lines. And pretty much everyone had the same response, which was like, oh, okay, we get it, no problem. So it's so simple. It's so easy. Yet instead, let's not do that. Let's complain about white privilege and some other stuff that we're going to take a look at now. One more thing first, actually. Maybe she hasn't said something like that because potentially Capcom actually gave her more freedom than they normally would give a VA. Like, maybe they let her do her own spin on this character, and this is what the result was. I don't know, though. Let's move on to her new statement. In a tweet with over 6,200 likes, we have Rule Time saying Lily Gao, the voice for Ada Wong in a Resident Evil 4 remake, put out a statement on her Instagram over recent harassment/bullying online. This statement reads, "Being the first Asian actor to portray Ada in the Resident Evil video games is an honor, and I will forever be grateful to our producer and director for making the decision on authentic representation. It's unfortunate that with the game's release also came the all too familiar feeling of, I don't belong. While criticism is expected, it's not the first time an actor of color faces racist and sexist harassment for simply participating. Inauthentic casting perpetuates an unhealthy image that further dehumanizes the community they seek to reflect. It is time we stop only capitalizing on the sexualized, eroticized, and mysterious Asian woman, and make space to honor every kind of Asian woman. My Ada is a survivor, kind, just, intelligent, and funny. She is unpredictable, resilient, and absolutely not a stereotype. Guys, I have tragic news. It hurts. It hurts, guys. Please, help me. My brain cells, I think I just lost 10 of them. She said she's the first Asian to voice Ada Wong. I guess Shannon Chen Kent and also Junko Minigawa just don't exist. Speaking of Shannon Chan Kent, check out this part of an interview from December 6, 2017, where she says, I remember auditioning for the Flick at Arts Club and chatting with some of the other actors. A lot of them were saying, oh, you'll for sure get it because diversity is in. And she says, I took offense to that. I think every artist wants to know that they're doing their art because it's their truth, not because of the color of their skin. Yes, diversity is in, and people are trying to meet their diversity quotas, especially in film and TV nowadays, but I would never want to capitalize on that. I would like to know I got a part because I earned it.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
All right, let's go back to the tweet talking about the new Instagram post we just read and see some of the comments. Blue Chip saying that Blue Chip thought she was good and people just wanted her to stay goofy like the old game. I mean, there's a lot of words that describe Ada Wong. Classy, suave, powerful, intelligent, nimble, but goofy? Yeah, you know what? Let's just move right on. Why is she playing the race card? Honestly, I haven't seen any negative comments about her race unless she's getting it in her DMs. Obviously, nobody deserves to be attacked for a portrayal of a character, but the way she words it makes it sound as if she's trying to play the race. Oh, there's more. Hold on. Play the race card, just to avoid the fact that she gave a very bland performance. IMO, I think it was more of the line delivery than anything. Hopefully people will stop harassing her. In response to that take, we've got this response. She literally just said racist and sexual harassment just cause you personally haven't combed the replies or TMs doesn't make it not true. We have seen this song and dance from y'all nerds. I wouldn't be surprised if she got death threats too. Y'all nerds. Bruh. Different comment here reads, I do not condone the harassment she received at all, but I am disappointed that she pulled the race card. This was never about race. Ada was always a beloved Asian character. It's about Lily's performance, sounding like someone took random clips of her talking and spliced them up. Dude got a response that says, don't give the right for anyone to harass her about it. And he's like, are you able to read? Another terrible point right here from this dude. It's absolutely about race, so you can't stop mentioning how she sounds. Well, I mean, she is a VA. What else are you supposed to mention? Her only job is to voice act. With that basic info, I can easily look up what the heck do you mean? What else are you supposed to mention? If you don't like how she sounds because she's Japanese, your race. Dude, so many people that are criticizing this VA work probably love a lot of Japanese VAs. This is such a bad take. Plus, that dude doesn't even know what he's talking about. She's a Chinese-born Canadian actress. She's not even Japanese. And as mentioned already, there's been other Asian VAs for Ada Wong, and they didn't get any of this backlash. What's with all these lies? Lily Gao herself is like, I'm the first Asian Ada VA. No. Dude's like, you just hate her because she's Japanese. It's like, she's not even Japanese. Corpos are like, she was harassed off the entire internet. It's like, no, she deleted some Instagram posts. She was flooded with harassment and racism, sexism, and all that. And then we're like, oh, dude, that's awful. And we take a look at the evidence, and it's like 4 comments. Literally 4 comments that had no racism or sexism in them at all. That's what the evidence was. Now, in my personal opinion, as I already mentioned multiple times in this segment and the other one, I do think, unfortunately, she probably received some level of bigoted comments, but it's very obvious that the corpos and their defenders and stuff are greatly misrepresenting the situation, blowing it out of proportion, and trying to gaslight people into thinking a very specific false narrative. And that's still going on right now, too. 4 hours ago, they're talking about the update that we went over in this video, the gamer. You can see what they say right here. And then they talk about how Lily Gao claims to be the first Asian actor to portray Ada in a Resident Evil game. And they don't even like fact check any of that stuff. They just recycle it, regurgitate it. I think that's pretty much the main stuff for the update. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this segment. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Of course, if you did enjoy, definitely consider liking and or subscribing to the channel for more segments like this every day. As a matter of fact, I'll probably have another fun segment coming out today in a couple of hours. So I hope to see you in the comments of this one and also in the next segment on the way. Thanks for tuning in.